I want to say something controversial. I want to say something that's not going to settle easy with you, so please just bear with me. This will take a minute or two. There's a thing called the self-sufficiency of God. I'm sure you've all heard of it, you're just acting like you forgot. I know you heard that God made you for His glory, that God is almighty and Jesus is the hero of the story, but have you ever thought about the fact that God doesn't need the world? He lived in perfect community within the Trinity, in active unity with endless opportunity, but He still made you. He wasn't bored, He wasn't lonely. He had a Son, and not Him only, He had the Spirit with whom He dwelt in perfect harmony, the kind of love and perfect match you cannot hope to find on eHarmony. So Christ is King, through whom everything that is made was made, but Lucifer, who's drenched in pride, looked unto Christ, in light arrayed, became so blind to who God was. How wasn't he afraid? He no longer served under the king on the throne. The devil only saw himself. His pride was fully grown. Now let's look at the way we live our lives today. What do your dreams consist of? Is your self-esteem your only existence? I know some people live to just get married, but tell me, who's going to remember how much cash in your wallet you carry? For some of you, it's all about your education. But let me be honest with you, only a handful of people will actually make it to your graduation. What's that? It's about your job, you say? You work so hard, stay up at night, and pull your hair so you can get a job you're gonna hate in just about a year? Tell me why the more we make it all about ourselves, we die inside. Because life without Christ, it's poison. It's a kind of pesticide. That's why the Proverbs say it's better to be lowly in spirit, with the oppressed to abide, than to share the plunder with what is pride. Now the hard thing to hear is this. We as Christians need to make it less about our glory and more about His. I hear you sing about popping tags. I see your Instagram pictures of your fancy rags, but life is not Burger King. You can't have it your own way. Here's some advice. Think about what you're going to say on that judgment day. Now, I'm not telling you all this to say that you failed. You did. But the life of Christ in obedience to God prevailed. This is the gospel. He did what you could not. He made it all about the Father's business while you did not. Jesus lived a life you could not live. He died the death you should have died. And in that garden he whispered, Father, not my will be done. And in that moment he defeated pride. So I know my rebellion is paid for in full. Christ is a humble king who came to take me home. That is why I'm so excited for you to hear this poem. So don't pretend you're self-sufficient. Rest in His amazing grace, for when I close my eyes in death, I'm going to see Him face to face. This is why Jesus is truly great. He laid His life down. But we live our lives on thrones as if you wear some kind of crown. This is what Jesus said about true greatness. He who seeks his life will lose it. He who loses his life for my sake will find it. So ultimately, your life is not about you. Do not be blinded. The charge is this. For those of you who are crushed under the thoughts that God doesn't need you, think about it this way. He wants you. Isn't that so much better? Don't let the devil deceive you. For the rest of us, we need the fear of Jesus. He's the faithful king who will never leave us, but he is king nonetheless, and kings are severe. So as to who you serve daily, please make it one.